Wow. It's as if the rocky road, the length and heat of the journey, or the fact Paul had already been chased out of Thessalonica weren't enough. Now he's got Satan stopping him from going back there. I suppose that's why he's writing letters. Cambridge Bible reminds us Satan is, throughout the New Testament, a real personality and no figure of speech. He hindered Paul and tries still today to hinder. Many a missionary could tell us there are roads that should not be traveled alone. Kaitlin can back me up on this as she, all by herself, followed the footsteps of Paul, tracing his first trip to Thessalonica when he came from Philippi and passed through Amphipolis and Apollonia.
This is a difficult thing to do by yourself. I have help if I need it, but even still I'm not supposed to be here by myself. I'm supposed to have a companion with me, and she was kept from coming on this trip by something last minute. I'm here as kind of our historian, to be able to show you what the places are like now. And I've had all kinds of difficulty just getting to these places. I understand why God would send Paul with people. Maybe why they looked at Timothy and said, hey, you should come along too, because we're going to need help. I'm getting the impression that not a lot of people come here to do what we're doing. It's really quite incredible to understand the distances involved, to have traveled them yourself, to have planned out a journey based on that. Here's Amphipolis. Unfortunately, this is really the most we can see of it because they're very sensible and have closed the place for the afternoon due to heat. We know the Via Egnatia ran through here. Otherwise, you know, the coastline's over there. I probably would have gone that way. But no, they followed the road because that's where the people were, and that's where their job was. That's what their calling was to talk to the people, not to, you know, see the beach.
There's a hole that fits the sun. The one you dug yourself is a small one by comparison.
Here took place St. Paul's speech, the Acts of the Apostles, chapter 17:1. And passing through Amphipolis and Apollonia, they reached Thessaloniki, which is about an hour's drive that way. One of the things I love most about getting to travel here is that we see so much more than what Luke stopped to record in the Bible. I mean, he's carrying paper for hundreds of miles. He can't record every little thing that happened, but he mentioned that they were here. I can totally imagine them coming into town. The people said, hey, what are you doing here? Paul said, well, dude, I have some great news for you. Let me tell you about Jesus. And then he, according to local tradition, got up on this big rock and I assume preached a sermon. And I can just picture Luke and Silas and Timothy kind of milling around in the crowd. No, really, yeah, that really happened. Yes, Jesus said this, all of that. I can totally see them helping spread the gospel.
Can you imagine if they'd all had smartphones? I'll bet Luke would have rather done this.
So I found the city wall. This is one of the possible sites of the synagogue here in Thessaloniki.
Or this.
Welcome to Thessaloniki.
Instead of having to write everything down. Paul's visit and his letters left a lasting legacy here. It was so important the gospel grew roots here, the capital of the geographic region of Macedonia. And judging by Paul's first letter to the Thessalonians, he was pretty happy with the new believers. In fact,